I'm Bhartiya, and we are here in OpenStack Summit in Vancouver, and we have with us Safaii from Trilio. A lot has changed in the tech world.
Yes.
So from your industry and from your company and from your products perspective, how has data protection evolved and changed?
Sure. Well, one, thanks for having me again. I enjoyed our last conversation, and it's interesting. The evolution of data protection, as we see it, the journey is transformative. One, we capture an exact moment in time. A tenant has the ability to capture the full application, right? So it's the application blueprint, the metadata, and the data as a whole. And we hold that in a QCOW2 format, and you can store it wherever you'd like. Now, the important part about that is mobility, workload mobility. So as the theme around backup and data protection evolves, and the hybrid cloud story starts to come into play, not only are you just backing up to a repository, but I'm giving you, the tenant, the ability to take that moment in time and recover it into a different cloud. So as hybrid cloud evolves and public cloud and private cloud become one compute layer, the governance around recovering a workload into one tier of cloud versus the other tier of cloud, that takes shape and that takes place. Also, if you think about what you can do with a moment in time, later this year, so we're talking about the ability to scan your backups. So now I can run a scanner through it, which we have today. We have yet to announce this, but to check configurations, to check antivirus, to make sure that you have got the best last known state. God forbid something happens and you need to recover, let's say ransomware or whatever may take place. But with Trilio, you'll have that ability. So we're going down this journey, this cloud journey, but we're also looking to have data protection itself, that term evolve. And I think we're leading that charge.
We have been hearing a lot about security a lot now, which you're not hearing. How critical is data protection in this changing, mindset where people are really getting concerned about security?
Yeah, so I think if you look at the from the OpenStack perspective, we have come so far today as far as now having production workloads in a lot of these environments. As that happens, there's this quick need for data protection just from the backup and DR side, right? 'Cause sort of that blocking and tackling. Taking it one step further now, now that you have that box checked, I think security does start to become an important issue, an important topic. And unfortunately, it takes bad actors and things to push industries along. I have yet to hear of anything happen, but the conversation around security is an evolving one.
It's not just the concern. There were some opportunities also. Like we were hearing a lot about machine learning and IoT.
Yes.
So, what kind of IoT is all about? Collecting massive amount of information or data, or whatever you want to call it, and then you'll use machine learning without that. As IoT is becoming more and more pervasive or popular, how does the data security or data protection landscape changes with that?
Yeah, so if you think about the amount of information that's captured from once you you extend the cloud to the edge, now you've got all these IoT devices capturing information, and these are new endpoints, open endpoints, if you will. I've heard of conversations where people are not aware how certain code got into their environment, that they can't even recognize where it could possibly come from. So if that's the case, going back to what I was mentioning before about running scanners through point in time and having AI capabilities around anomaly detection within moments in time, this becomes a very interesting conversation to say, all right, this moment in time and this moment in time, the ecosystem and the environment and what this means, they don't look exactly alike. What's changed? Should I rewind the clock? Should I start over again? Should I be taking this moment, or should I be pushing things to test dev environments sooner before pushing them out to production? But again, on the IoT side, you're opening up a door because it's sucking in all this information. So the evolution of security, the evolution of data protection, the need for backup is going to be critical.
Right. And is your Trilio ready for all these use cases, or you are targeting a very narrow segment of this market?
Yeah, so today we tackle a lot of the backup and DR perspectives. We will be tackling that environment as far as the anomaly detection component within your workload. It's, we talk about the journey here, but yes, we will be.
When you come to these events and you see, I mean, of course, you do work with your partners outside of this event either way, but the diverse mix of users you see. So, what are the most exciting use cases that you are seeing? Hey, these guys have this problem, we should be helping them. So, what are the use cases you have seen?
Yeah, so backup is never a sexy thing.
It should not be, right?
Right. But I think the use case it was more from a resource management perspective. I think if you look at how you can use Trilio's ability from a migration capability standpoint, taking workloads, taking users, and moving them to different clouds for maybe load balancing perspectives, or it's actually a big topic within this community today is fast forward upgrade cycles. It's a big topic. So how do I jump from Red Hat 10 to 13, or this government agency is on Kilo and needs to jump forward, fast forward to Queens. You want to have Trilio's ability to capture all the tenants, back them up, fast forward, fast upgrade your cloud, and reinstantiate those tenants and those workloads now. And you look, if the process isn't a clean process, you have the ability to downshift again.
Right.
Because you've already captured everything with Trilio.
Anything new came out of Trilio?
It's been a busy quarter. So 2 weeks ago at the Red Hat Summit, which was fantastic. I mean,
I was there, so it was fun.
8,000 people. There was a lot of buzz. Trilio had announced native data protection for Rev, taking all of the key characteristics of what we do for OpenStack, that being agentless, software only, forever scalable, and putting the power in the tenant's hands to provide backup and recovery capabilities. So we now do that for OpenStack, for Rev, which now gives Red Hat the ability to go after VMware, displace VMware in a lot of places. We announced integration into CloudForms, Director Ansible, and Ceph. So we're completing the ecosystem there. And so whether you're running your OpenShift on OpenStack or OpenShift on Rev, Trilio is that backup component that'll be native to that full environment. So that was that was a couple weeks ago. And then fast forward to here at this summit, we had an exciting announcement with Canonical. Canonical has announced that they are bundling Trilio into their cloud and reselling data protection as part of their cloud offering. Canonical does a great job of building clouds and operating clouds fast and efficiently. And now data protection is just part of that conversation. Hopefully inviting more production workloads into the clouds faster. It's about getting ROI out of what you're investing in.
So you are telling me that at one hand you have the Red Hat, the kind of the king of the Linux world, or they are evolving, beyond Linux, and then you go all the way to Canonical,
Yeah.
So you're like completing the whole spectrum.
Yeah, it's been it's fantastic to be the only native data protection solution in this market. So regardless of whatever distribution you're running, Trilio can just be that additive component there. And so it's a lot of work on our part. I mean, we at every release have to qualify against Red Hat, Canonical, Mirantis, SUSE, upstream. We qualify from Kilo all the way forward because everyone's in different parts of their journey. And then if you think about the number of different backend storage environments that people have. So it's a lot of work on our part, but that's what it takes to be that standard. So it's exciting to be, the prettiest girl at the ball.
What about SUSE? You have you're talking Red Hat, you're talking Canonical. SUSE is the third big player. Are you working with them also? Or?
We do work with, and we have certified with SUSE and Mirantis as well.
Okay.
We protect their clouds out in the market.
You protect their cloud. This OpenStack Summit, what was really interesting was that even during the keynote, it was all about Kubernetes, it was all about containers, because
Yeah.
containers, a lot of people see that is the, so where does containers fit into your strategy?
Yeah, good question. It's interesting. The container market feels a lot like where OpenStack was a couple of years ago, right? It will need backup. Stateful workloads do find their way into into these areas. Once that happens, we'll get that call, and we're architected appropriately to be the backup solution within the container market. What's going on with Kata, for example, right? It's exciting for us. We're in the right spot right now, but it's a matter of time. That world's going to continue to evolve. Look, when people first started down the OpenStack journey, they were saying, "Oh, only stateless workloads will live here." It's perception and reality, right? Fast forward to today, it's very, very different. The same thing is going to happen on the container world.
Are you going to containerize your own solutions too?
Yeah, good question. So yes, we are. We actually have had a partner already containerize us and run us as a service in a container. I can't acknowledge who it is, but they do it within the federal space. But if you fast forward to Queens and going forward, Trilio does need to be containerized. Anyway, that's how a lot of these services will be deployed.
What role can data protection play in the serverless landscape?
Well, anytime that there is data generated and a point in time needs to be captured, data protection needs to exist. So again, there are a lot of initial intents for things, and then we always learn as part of this journey.
Right.
So we'll be there for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to touch upon?
I would just say that how Trilio is, the platform itself is orchestrated. It's a cloud native platform. As a cloud native platform, we can approach a number of different clouds. Today, the focus is on the open source community. It's focused on OpenStack. It's focused on the KVM environment. We're getting a lot of requests for backup within just pure KVM. It can be applied to other clouds. Trilio Vault can exist inside Amazon. It can exist inside Azure. It can be applied to VMware. We just haven't done that yet. And candidly, for anyone else to go do this, to become a cloud native backup solution, you'd have to re-architect yourself.
I'm going to ask a question that I asked last time also, because I've been covering open source for so long.
Yeah.
Are you going to open source any of your company?
Thanks for asking again. There is that does come up internally quite a bit. We will be open sourcing certain components.
Awesome.
Because of our Red Hat relationship, to make ourselves integrate seamlessly into things like Director, et cetera. So we are taking steps.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
Oh, I'm glad.
Okay, now we are not going to talk about Trilio. We are not going to talk about OpenStack. We are not going to talk about technology. We are going to talk about you for a while. So when you're not attending the events, what do you do in your free time?
Oh man, what do I do? Is there free time? No, just.
For me, it's free time. I love technology. I love talking to people. So I'm just having fun.
Yeah, no, I love what I do. I truly have a blast. I'm surrounded by great people.
No, we are not going to talk. We are talking about hobbies, your personal hobbies.
I have a young family. I've got a 2-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And she's my world. She's my boss. So whatever time I can spend with her, I'm just amazed by how fast she learns and all those things. And then if it's not that, I'm outside getting my hands dirty. I've got a tractor, take care of the lawn in the backyard, and try and be outside as much as I can. So those are the things that really do keep me busy outside of work life.
I totally understand. I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh.
So, but you also travel a lot. How do you keep up? Because you're missing as they're growing.
I know that's painful. I go on a business trip. I come back 1 week later, and now my daughter's putting together 3-word sentences, right? And it's heart wrenching. But we have video conferencing today. It's so easy to
The
pick up
time
your
zone
phone.
problem is there. You are in a different part of the world.
I know. Well, it's a good thing I never sleep. So
You don't sleep?
Nah, I never sleep. I rarely do because there's always so much to do. And like I said, I'm having fun.
Exactly.
Doing what I'm doing.
That's the most important. And thank you so much for talking to me
Thank
today.
you.
And
This
it's
is wonderful.
and thanks for talking beyond work and get some more hobbies.
Yeah, I know. If I can get back on the soccer field, I would.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.